Nobody tells you that the people you ignore are the ones building your safety net. You don't see it happening, and that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. By the end of this, you'll understand why the small moments you dismiss as someone else's problem are quietly shaping whether anyone shows up for you when everything falls apart. And the story that proves this will stay with you. If you want more stories like this one, subscribe right now and tap the bell. We drop new videos every week that most people only wish they'd found sooner. Her name was Maya. 34, busy, always running somewhere important. She lived in a clean apartment on the 3rd floor of a building where she knew exactly 0 of her neighbors by name. She told herself that was normal. She told herself that was fine. The woman next door was Mrs. Adler. 78 years old, moved slowly, knocked softly. 3 times in 6 months, Mrs. Adler knocked on Maya's door, once to ask if someone could check on a strange smell in the hallway, once to say the elevator had been broken for 2 days and she couldn't carry her groceries up the stairs, once just to ask if Maya had seen the building manager. 3 times Maya opened the door, gave a polite half-answer, and closed it again. She wasn't cruel. She was just busy. There's a difference, she told herself. But here's where it gets interesting, because the universe has a very specific sense of irony. One January evening, Maya slipped on ice outside her building. She didn't break anything, but she twisted her ankle badly enough that she couldn't put weight on it. She made it inside, made it to the elevator, made it to her floor, and then she realized her phone had cracked in the fall. The screen was black. She had no way to call anyone. She sat in the hallway outside her door, keys in hand, pain radiating up her leg, and she waited for someone to walk by. Nobody did. She thought about her friends. All of them lived across the city. She thought about her family. Her mother was 2 states away. She sat there for 40 minutes before she finally dragged herself to her door and got inside alone. If you've ever sat in a moment of real need and realized you couldn't name a single person close enough to help, then this next part is written for you. What Maya didn't know, what she couldn't have known, is that Mrs. Adler had quietly built something over 30 years in that building. She knew the super by his daughter's name. She knew which neighbor kept odd hours and which one always came home early. She had a mental map of who was where and when. When Mrs. Adler noticed something wrong, she told someone. When she saw a light on at 3 a.m. that wasn't usually on, she paid attention. She was the invisible infrastructure of that hallway. Maya had opted out of that network without ever knowing it existed. Now here's the part that changes everything. 3 weeks after Maya's fall, she saw Mrs. Adler struggling with a bag at the bottom of the stairs. And this time, something had shifted. Maya walked over. She carried the bag up. She didn't rush. Mrs. Adler thanked her and said, "You know, I've been hoping we'd finally talk." They stood in the hallway for 20 minutes. Maya learned that Mrs. Adler had a son who called every Sunday, that she had lived in this building since 1991, that she watched the hallway the way a lighthouse watches the water. Not to interfere, just to see. That conversation cost Maya nothing, and it started something she didn't have a word for yet. Community isn't a feeling, it's a practice. You build it in the small moments. The door held open, the name remembered, the knock answered. You don't build it when you need it. You build it long before, in the ordinary Tuesday moments when nothing feels urgent and everything feels optional. The safety net you'll need one day is being woven right now by the people around you, and the only question is whether you're weaving it with them or walking past it every single time. Start with the person closest to you who you've been too busy to see. That's where the net begins. And if this story made you think about someone in your own life, subscribe and hit that bell, because the next video might be the one that changes how you see everything around you.